everyone, I'm Maki. The latest entry in the Gundam series Requiem for Vengeance has been released. Of course, I wasted no time and went to see it right away. Today, I'd like to share my thoughts on it, while being careful not to spoil anything. I also have some news about the Gundam series. Let's take a look at what Naohiro Ogata, general manager of the Gundam series at Sunrise, had to say in a recent media interview. Requiem for Vengeance is an intriguing work that takes on new challenges while firmly inheriting the gene of the Gundam series. You can really feel the weight of the mobile suit battles, but without losing any of the impact or sense of speed. One of the highlights for me was seeing the Golf Custom, my favorite mobile suit, in such an active role. Some fans were concerned that the atmosphere would be very different with a different team to the usual Sunrise crew in charge of production. However, Requiem for Vengeance turned out to be a brand new story in the Gundam saga. The detailed settings of the mobile suits were also beautifully incorporated into the battle scenes. The Gundam's armor, molded from a new material called Gundam alloy, proved to be resistant to traditional weapons. It was striking to see the Zuckuss, once considered invincible by the Zeon soldiers, defeated so easily and pathetically, creating a strong sense of despair. The scenes in which the Gundam relentlessly attacks Sadaku after it has fallen and lost its ability to fight evoke a real sense of horror. Sometimes there are unnatural movements on the battlefield, but the reasons for these subtle details are revealed later in the story. Watching the series again from the beginning after finishing it will lead to new discoveries. The Gundam series often explores the question, can humanity truly understand each other? This theme is also woven into the story, depicting moments when hope seems to be within reach, alongside the harsh realities of war, leading to tragic and cruel results. The reason for the title, Requiem for Vengeance, is revealed at the end of the story. During the promotional video phase, fans made various predictions. Some wondered, is it about Solari seeking revenge after something precious was taken from him by the Earth Federation? Others speculated, could it be a story where Solari takes revenge after her comrades are defeated by the Gundam? Or even is it about the Gundam itself taking revenge on Solari for some reason? These theories were all floating around in the end. The way the meaning of the title is revealed is very satisfying. Now the big question, would I recommend Requiem for Vengeance? My answer is yes. It's available on Netflix, where all the episodes have already been released. Even if you subscribe temporarily just to watch it and then cancel, I think you'll be satisfied. It's quite surprising that you can watch it for less than the cost of a cinema ticket. One thing to keep in mind, though, is that this story is set in the early days of mobile suit technology. The timeline is the same as that of the original Gundam, set in a time when mobile suits had not even been in combat for a full year. As a result, the mobile suits move more slowly than in works set in later eras, and the scenes emphasize their weight. If you're someone who enjoys the fast-paced, agile battles depicted in works like Hathaway's Flash or Gundam Seed Freedom, you may feel that something is missing. Naohiro Ogata of Sunrise gave an interview to the Japanese media outlet 47 News. As the person in charge of the Gundam series as a whole, he shared some insights. He explained that the main reason why the Gundam series was able to reach its 45th anniversary was that Yoshiyuki Tomino, the creator of the original Gundam, allowed others to direct works in the series early on. This decision to allow creators with different personalities to work on the project expanded the possibilities of the series. Tomino himself is someone who often respects ideas different from his own. While some may perceive him as a stubborn figure based on his interviews, when he was working on the original Gundam, he approached the production with the philosophy of fully realizing the sponsor's wishes. Elements such as the Gundam hammer, a unique weapon, the gimmicks of combining and transforming, and mobile suits with monster-like appearances such as the Zugok were all created as a result of fulfilling these requests. Ogata also commented on Requiem for Vengeance. He mentioned that the project came to life after Netflix approached Sunrise with a proposal, and the studio responded by taking on the challenge of combining the hand-drawn texture and feel of Japanese animation with computer graphics. Requiem for Vengeance was directed by Erasmus Brostow from Germany, and the story was written by Gavin Hignight from the United States. Working with creators outside of Japan was also a new challenge for Sunrise. It turned out that having the protagonist Solari pilot, Azaku was heavily influenced by the opinions of both Brostow and Hignight. The bold idea of presenting the Gundam as the enemy, which is reflected in the title, was also quite daring. Although this concept is not so unusual in recent works, it was undoubtedly a great challenge for a first-time director. The design of Gundam EX with its focused on villainy and horror elements was another point that was discussed. These same elements were also touched upon in an official Gundam YouTube program. Mr. Kimitoshi Yamoni, who was in charge of the design, shared some insights. He particularly emphasized the shoulder design, explaining that if the shoulders were made too large, the Gundam would look heroic. Indeed, if you compare the Gundams of Seed Freedom with Gundam EX, the difference in impression is striking. This could be a useful tip to keep in mind when decorating Gunpla or other models. In addition, the body was designed with an overall bone-white color scheme, with red in certain areas. For the abdomen, they aimed for an image of internal organs peeking through the gaps between the ribs. These design choices play a crucial role in making Gundam EX appear terrifying to the audience. Ogata also talked about having a female protagonist, in which from Maki, the lead role was played by a young girl, Suta Maki. He explained that this was purely by chance. The gender of the protagonist is not something you deliberately decide at the outset. Instead, they create the structure of the story first and then create the character that fits best. As a result, a female protagonist was born. Even in the works Tomino directed for the original Gundam, female characters often play a significant role. Ogata mentioned that they don't shape the narrative based on gender or religious views, but by constructing the framework of the story and then creating the necessary characters, resulting in a naturally diverse cast. Finally, Ogata touched on a topic that many fans are curious about. I often hear people say that they don't know where to start because there are so many Gundam series. I think that's one of the unique aspects of the Gundam franchise. It's rare for a series to keep introducing new works like this. Starting next year, up to the 50th anniversary, we plan to release a major work every year. Please look forward to it. The phrase major work is very intriguing. If we interpret it simply, it probably means something like a TV anime or film. The first Hathaway's Flash film has been out for a while, and the trilogy is expected to be completed. I've heard that films in the middle of a trilogy often have trouble attracting an audience. How will Hathaway navigate that? It may be possible to produce the second and third films simultaneously for an earlier release. The story itself was completed in novel form by Tomino in 1990. I'm also hoping for something like a TV anime. One thing I personally find challenging is the gap between TV anime releases, which from Maki was released in 2022. But the previous series Iron Blooded Orphans ended in 2017. I understand that a lot of people are involved in these productions, so it's inevitable, but as a fan, the 5-year gap feels long. It would be great if they could rise to the challenge. Is there anything you're particularly excited about? It seems that the Gundam series has some exciting developments in store for 2025 and beyond. I'm really looking forward to that. Thank you for watching until the end. See you in the next episode.